I watched Return of the King, Rise and Fall of Elvis Presley, and if you're interested in watching this documentary film, you're in the right spot. Hello movie watchers, my name is Justin. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. All I do here is watch movies and shows. Netflix has a new documentary film about the rise and fall of Elvis Presley and his 1968 comeback special. But is it any good? Let's get into it. He had one chance to show the world he was still king of rock and roll. Discover the story behind Elvis Presley's triumphant 1968 comeback special. I thoroughly enjoyed Austin Butler's take on Elvis Presley, a very cinematic approach to Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. But I still thought there was more to unpack when it came to Elvis Presley. And that's what this documentary does very well, is it showcases the rise and the fall of Elvis Presley. Elvis was such a huge musical artist, but he wasn't able to maintain his success throughout his career. During his adventure into film, he had a dip in stardom, and he had a really hard time coming back from that. But through footage and interviews, we get a deeper understanding of that rise and how hard that fall was. We saw all the success in the beginning of his career when he became really popular. He tried new things when it came to making films and having soundtracks for those movies. When he would join the military and he came back, he had a long break of concerts. And he had a hard time coming back from that, trying new things that were very personal to him. But throughout these footage and these interviews, we do see a deeper level to Elvis Presley, and that he's just not this cool, calm musical artist. Throughout a lot of this footage of showcasing that 1968 special, he was incredibly nervous throughout his concerts and performing. Many times he had to stop that 1968 special because he was stumbling and he was nervous, and it showed throughout his performance. But that 1968 special was that rise for him again, and how important it was to Elvis Presley's career. I liked all of the footage of Elvis Presley prior to him working on films, showcasing the films as well, and that 1968 special. A lot of the footage that is shown within this documentary film does feel very personal when it comes to how he handled himself when it came to these concerts and his time with the military. There's a lot that focuses on that rise and how popular he became and how important he was to music, and we still feel his impact today. We do get a lot of interviews with Bruce Springsteen and Conan O'Brien and Priscilla Presley, people that admire Elvis Presley, and he had a huge impact on them. Historians and fans as well are within this documentary film, giving their insight on Elvis Presley. I thought it was a nicely paced documentary film, about an hour and a half long, that really didn't focus too much on his relationships with other people, like his manager. It focused solely on that rise and how quickly he became so popular. But also that fall just felt very raw and personal, and how he had a hard time coming back from it. Personal connection that he had to gospel, that contributed a lot to his rise again. And that fall just felt so hard and so emotional for him. And throughout all that footage, we get a deeper understanding of it. Real quick, if you're interested in watching Return of the King, Rise and Fall of Elvis Presley, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you've already watched it, comment down below with your thoughts on this documentary movie. Now, this documentary film is not entirely perfect. I feel a lot of the interviews with the celebrities, Conan O'Brien, Bruce Springsteen, it was about them and how Elvis Presley mattered so much to them, when I felt like this documentary was solely focused on the rise of Elvis Presley and the fall in that 1968 comeback special. So when you had these interviews, it felt like it was more towards, how did Bruce Springsteen feel about Elvis Presley? How did Conan O'Brien and his mother feel about Elvis Presley? And it kind of took away from that development of that rise and that fall. Though I did like some of the personal touch to it and the interviews and hearing how important Elvis Presley was to them, I was way more interested in the rise and fall of Elvis Presley and that focus on him. And I like the structure more of Elvis Presley's career and seeing that footage. If you are a fan of Elvis Presley, I do recommend checking out this new documentary film. I'm gonna go ahead and give Return of the King, Rise and Fall of Elvis Presley a B-. Thank you guys for taking my review for Rise and Fall of Elvis Presley. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.